Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock by T.S. Eliot. Now, before I go into summary and analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. Very interesting poem here. So let's get to the core of it. We have J. Alfred Prufrock here. He is in this poem. We're kind of like the setting here. It's like we're in a city. We're in this place that's he's going around. He's in his head a lot. He's talking about women, or there's women around, or he's trying to make a connection. But he sees himself as this bug, as this crustacean, as this thing that can't make a connection with the women, and he's really stuck in his head, thinking about how will it go, how does he look. He's trying to make a connection, but there is no connection. There's no development within the poem. There's no happy ending. It's a very sad and dreary poem. I mean, it's called the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, but it's like the failure love song because there's no love song. There's no, I fell in love, I experienced love. And in terms of deeper meaning and analysis, just to really jump in here, um, the greatest thing to experience on earth is to be in love, to find someone that you can connect with, that you can laugh with, someone that gets you, that sees you, that understands you. Not just from a human standpoint, but someone who gets every part of you. I mean, humans were incredibly complicated in terms of our emotions, our feelings, our deep thoughts, our thinking about the universe, existence, religion, politics, sex, all that kind of stuff. Humans were incredibly complex beings, incredibly complex creatures. There's so many things in this world that makes us us. Past experiences, our histories, where we come from, cultures, identities, languages, and so throughout life there is a search for meaning and for somebody to see you and every part of you for who you are. And when you can't find someone to connect with, someone to see you, you oftentimes feel lonely, isolated, alone, and unseen, really. And this love song here by J. Alfred Prufrock, it's like this Prufrock, he's just trying to find a woman who he can connect with, someone he can talk to, that can see him and he can see her, but he's still stuck in his head, and there's so many things going on in his head. He just misses out on life, and by the end of the work, it's kind of like, you're withering away, and the disillusionment of life. It's just because we all, when we're young, when we're in our teenage years, when we're in our 20s, we think that life will be this great adventure where, you find your love, you fall in love, and you get married, you have kids, and you're rich, and you're living the life, and everything just ends up the way that you wanted to. um I mean, some people can reach that outcome, some people do, and some people don't. It's a reality. I mean, if you think of life, how it usually turns out for people in life, life is not really pristine and clean and transparent and, just the way that we wanted. Sometimes, maybe you get your career, but you don't find your love. Maybe you have kids and maybe you're single. Maybe you're a baby mama with no father to help you support these kids. Accidents happen and all types of things happen, and there's car accidents, there's pregnancies that are unexpected, and there's love stories that never take place, and there's variables of all kinds when it comes to love, when it comes to connections. Sometimes people settle, sometimes people don't. There's lots of things to think about when it comes to finding love and to being in love and to understanding our existence on this planet. And when you're like Prufrock here and you're stuck inside of your head trying to think of every variable, how is it going to work out, how to make a connection, sometimes you just don't know the right things to say. Sometimes you don't have the right pickup line. Sometimes you just don't, you just stumble into love, and sometimes you just don't. The thing is, life is life, and sometimes you just gotta dive in and just find somebody that can see you and you can see them. When you're trying to expertly control the situation of love, it just blows up in your face. And just like J. Alfred Prufrock here, um, because he's thinking about it so much, because he's trying to do all these things, the poem is just not a good ending. There's no happy love, story at the end. There's no, Romeo and Juliet here. It's just constant thinking, constant woe is me, constant trying to figure out how to make this work, and it just feels like at the end it's like failure. So it's like it's a love song, but it's a a journey to find love that never finds love. And yeah, I mean, it's a poem that hits hard, I have to say, because I think a lot of people, because of their stipulations and their conditions for their romantic partners, they usually never end up falling in love. Because again, if you pick somebody for value, for things and money and material goods, usually it might end in a divorce. Because I mean, in 2025 today, when you look at the world today, divorce is very high because people oftentimes pick a romantic partner based upon monetary gain, money, status, or just sexual attraction, instead of values and truly knowing somebody and getting along with somebody and having this kind of like natural connection with somebody that you can live 50, 60, 70 years with, because that's what it's supposed to be. But because we have all these stipulations and conditions and things to meet, you often neglect the real and true things. And then, down the line, you kind of hate the person that you chose and then divorce. Um, Again, you can't control all the variables when it comes to romantic relationships, like Prufrock tries to do within this poem, because when you're stuck in your head trying to find someone that matches your checklist to the, you know, exactly, you just come to find out that person that doesn't doesn't exist. Because again, you're trying to build somebody within your mind and then trying to find that person within the real world. And when you do that, again, the person that you build in your mind is not always an existing person within the real world. So you always end up in a state of disillusionment and disappointment. Whew, that was a mouthful. But again, very interesting poem here. There's a lot of ways you can interpret it, but it says a lot about love, about, it's a real thing I feel like people do all the time. The love song of J. Alfred Prufrock here, is something I feel that relates to a lot of people, that a lot of people are in this situation in the modern day today, because you're stuck in, because you are constantly weighing the variables of romantic relationships. Sometimes it leaves you unable to act, and when you are unable to act, you kind of miss life. And that's what happens to J. Alfred Prufrock here within this poem, because he's so stuck in his head, he's unable to act, he's unable to connect, he's unable to see anybody. And because of the fog and all these other things that he's thinking about, his life just pretty much passing by. So that's quite damning if you really think about it. All right, that's all I have to say about this poem. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.